This is from the old Australian spiritual form, which comes from the far east of Europe, in a place known arrogantly as the Middle Kingdom. In those days, of course, it's not called that anymore. So the barbarians were experimenting with a lot of different things back in those days, from the Middle Kingdom's eyes, and so they had to devise an interesting animal biomimicking type thing from the edges of the kingdom of the middle, what was then known as the Middle Kingdom, and they copied in their own way these arts. This is all bullshit, by the way. I'm making all this up. And so this is the second form of the tradition that they directly copied. But then, of course, they went on to doing it their own way. Warren, Roger, Tim, hint, hint. This is going to be the beginnings of thousands of years history here for Australasia. And they copied from the edges. The second movement of this thing was apparently something to do with the mind in boxing. It's called something like Xing Yi Chuan, which is fist in the old days. But we don't call it Xing Yi Chuan, we just call it mind, from the inside to the outside, boxing. This is the second movement of that. So what they do is they put their hands together like this, because they had big kingdoms. We had tribes, we had gods of war, and they had our god of war for the whole kingdom, their kingdom then. So the tribes copied this, and they just went, okay, we're gonna have since they're laughing at us, we might as well laugh at them. And they look like this. And they wobble their heads like that, and then they came down this way, out this way, and they came into this direction here. Now they used to use them using spears. We saw them using spears in formations, but we don't use spears. We had our axes and our shields, you see. So from this, you turn it into this, and from this, you turn it into this. So you're coming out and then down. So you're not using it like a spear through the centre. You see what I mean? So the tribal people, they didn't have spears in the organisations that they had in those days. So what they did is they went up this way, and they liked to muck about with their guts. So they pushed it in this way. Humour here, Warren. They pushed it in this way, like that, and then they went out this way, right? Now that was something there, and then they came out this way, and then from here they just went down that way, from the gut. And then because they're tribes people, they went like that, with a lot of anger and aggression, because they were pissed off that the others had, and they had not. The haves and the have nots. So you can see the evolution here. Graceful, got everything we need to tribal warfare. Tribal warfare. So that's that movement in a nutshell for the tribal version.